after stabilizing the economy, we feel that we can now move ahead and start our reforms. Our reforms are very straightforward. We believe that real development is human development. So we are going to, all our money, we've decided that all the money which we retrieve from the criminal mafia, we've started a massive accountability campaign. We will then direct it towards human development. We've started one of the biggest poverty alleviation program in Pakistan's history, despite having financial constraints. But we believe that a country cannot rise if there's a small lot of rich people and a mass of poor ones. This is what's happened in Pakistan. The gap between the rich and the poor has grown with each year. And the whole system just caters for a tiny elite. The education system caters for just a tiny elite. To give you an example, we have a total of students coming from what are the elite schools, English medium schools, are 800,000. The children who go to government schools, they are about 33 million. And then children who go to Dini madrasas is 2.5 million. So we have three-tiered system. So the first thing our government is trying to do is to synthesize the syllabus, bring in science subjects, other subjects into Dini madrasas, which are the religious schools. So bring them into the mainstream. Similarly, in the Urdu medium schools, teach them English so that we equip them for higher education. So we are trying to bring the education system, which is the biggest problem our country faces and the most difficult problem. So that's number one. Secondly is the Pakistan taxation system. We have the lowest tax GDP ratio in the world. We have, out of a population of 210 million people, we have only taxpayer, barely people, 1.5 million people pay taxes. So there's no way you can sustain a country if you do not expand the tax base. So we now are in the process, very difficult process, convincing everyone to come into the tax net. There are a lot of strikes going on right now, but we feel that we will be able to overcome them. Because it's imperative now that the Pakistani people pay taxes. The challenge, of course, has been that this mafia, I call this mafia, in 10 years, just so that you understand what they have done to our country. Because later on, you might ask me, why is this political victimization? What I call accountability, people will say political victimization. But I'll just tell you what they've done to our country in 10 years. The total debt of Pakistan in 2008, before these two parties came in, when General Musharraf left, the total debt of Pakistan in 60 years was 6 trillion rupees. In the last 10 years, they've taken it from 6 trillion to 30 trillion rupees. So where has this money gone? I've set up a commission, a debt commission, which is now going to find out where this money disappeared. So which is why we are going through this problem of finding out what happened to our country. How come we got so indebted? So the problem with having such a huge debt is that in the last year, the total tax revenue which we collected, half of it went to servicing debts. So you can't have 210 million people just surviving on this already a very low tax base and then half of it going into debt servicing. So for that, we are expanding our tax base. But what we are doing now in Pakistan is the first time in 1960s any government is going to take this step. We are now moving towards encouraging industrialization. In 1960s, Pakistan's industrial production was equal to 4 Asian tigers' industrial production: Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand. The combined industrial production was equal to Pakistan's in 1960s. After that, unfortunately, we deindustrialized. Our exports actually went down because our policies just did not encourage industrialization. So we now have embarked on a program of industrializing our country. We are giving incentives to industry. So we have, the main programs in Pakistan are, number one, poverty alleviation. We have allocated the biggest amount to alleviate poverty. Any money retrieved from these big crooks will go straight into the poverty alleviation program. Secondly, industrialization. We are now encouraging our industry, specifically export industry. We have trade agreements, one with China where we hope that we will be able to free trade agreement with a preferential trade agreement with China where we hope to export our stuff to China. China has imports of $2 trillion. So industrialization. And third is agriculture. Pakistan is basically an agricultural country, and we are hoping to get technology transfer from Europe, from China. Hopefully, we've spoke to companies in the United States. So that we can improve our yields. Pakistan has the lowest yield, one of the most productive lands, but the lowest yield. So what we hope is that this three-prong attack, we will be able to raise Pakistan's economy, provide employment to our people, improve productivity. So this is basically where we are headed. Thank you.